They saying more, you better do.
We're across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Washington football team. Longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They'll start by running the option to the right. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And I do believe that sometimes as a defender, when you see read option, you're just making an educated guess because the offense feels like no matter what move you make, it turns out right for them. Sometimes it can burn you making that guess, but I think here, he said, I'm pursuing the quarterback no matter what he does, and this time, he picked the right option.
And the next-gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing. Love. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Love from the gun. Hard throw, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Throwing Jones. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. DeAndre Carter back deep. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Off the play fake, Love. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
Here's Gibson on the read option.
Trucks over him. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On first down, right back to Gibson.
The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, it's Gibson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Here we go now on first and goal.
Love looking to throw it. He'll buy some time right.
Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas.
His 11th touchdown of the year.
And Washington has taken a first quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Throwing deep for Galladay. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Giants. Kenny Galladay hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Gano the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one. It's a fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here's Gibson on the read option.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Love. And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. These two teams all tied after one. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. With it is Jackson. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants' offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big...
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Chase Young.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. Trying to lay one up deep.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Troy Apke, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
So they took their shot. It was a pretty good heave, but in the end, the free safety is the one who comes away with the football.
And two of the traits that you look for in a good free safety, range and decision-making, both on display right there. And it didn't hurt that he's got a good pair of hands, too.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Brings up second and 5.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A handoff running left is Gibson.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
52 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
They're going with Lindsey.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down, all right? This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Here's Murray running right, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Gibson.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 7. Love going with a screen for Murray. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Love now. Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas,
his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And Washington has taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it go again. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So, Charles, we have reached the end here of a long season, Week 18, which we don't say very often, although this is not the first Week 18 that the NFL has ever seen.
Not at all, and Brandon, some of the people might be a little bit too young to remember, but back in 1993, the league experimented with giving teams 2 open weeks for the year, and we also saw Week 18 when the league was on pause for a few weeks in 2001 following the attacks on September 11th.
Jones throw taken in by Slayton.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He sets to fire deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Play action this time with Love. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Play fake. Here's Love. And he finds McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin in the final seconds of the first half.
And Washington going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now 21-7.
Giants 7.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Rip Mike 19. Come 19. 7, Mike 27. Mike 27. I'm trying to collect. Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Check, 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 check. Mike 27. Mike 27. 18. Pioneer. Watch the run. Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Let's go, D. Mike 27. Mike 27.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down.
He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Tight ends right. 4 down. Alert.
From the 44, Jones throwing deep for Galladay.
Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception.
It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Love, they go play action now. Eluding the pressure right. Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
6 yards left on second down.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Now Jones. Off play action. Throwing deep for Galladay. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Here's Gibson on the read option.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Azeez Ojulari
in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Here's Jackson to return. Now a hit and a loose football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
They'll try to run with Gibson.
And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 1 man in the backfield, Murray on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. 72 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
They'll go again with Gibson.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Now they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Room here to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big gain there on third and long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. On play action. Love to throw. He'll dump this one off to Lindsey.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
They'll run with Gibson.
Runs over it.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, Keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A spin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Washington,
the win here in Week 18 gives them a pivotal 11th win on the year, running their final mark to 11-6.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Giants,
the loss means they finish with a mark of 10 wins and 7 losses.
And it's going to be finger-crossing time as we await the final shakedown of this year's playoff picture.